Today we're going to be building this outdoor planter from these two fence pickets that cost me about $2.50 each for a total of $5. Stay with me. Welcome back to Victory Woodworks with Vic. Again, I'm Vic. Today we're going to make this out of this. Now these two fence pickets, they cost me about $2.50 each. So for about $5, you can make yourself a very nice looking outdoor planter like this. First things first, let's take a look at what we're going to need for this project. Well, of course, we're going to need two fence pickets. This is going to be the lumber we're going to start with. We're going to need a saw. In my case, I'm going to use a miter saw to chop up the board into smaller workable pieces for this particular project. We're going to need a brad nailer or some sort of hammer and nails to hold the pieces together while the glue sets, and we're going to need some glue. We're using Title Bond 3 for this project. Before we get started on today's project, let's talk about shop safety. So make sure our eyes are always protected. We're going to wear these safety glasses, and make sure that our ears are protected. We're going to wear these earmuffs. Now that we got the safety message out of the way, why don't we make our way over to the miter station. We're going to make our initial cuts. So for those of you who need a little plan, I went out of my way, created this in Word. Basically it shows the two fence pickets and how we're going to cut them out. We're going to do that in 3 batches. Basically we're going to cut 4 pieces 9 3/4 by 5 1/2, 4 pieces 11 by 5 1/2, and 4 pieces 13 by 5 1/2. That'll pretty much cut through the entire fence picket. And then the 2 larger pieces we're going to cut into 1 1/4 inch strips and 2 inch strips. I'm gonna make sure this is in the video for those of you who like pictures. And then we're just gonna glue it up. It's that simple. This shouldn't take you more than 15 or 20 minutes. Unless of course you're videotaping for YouTube, in which case it could take you 2 days. On the miter saw here, what I've done is I've set up a fence here in the back to give us a place to be able to clamp off a stop block, such as this, so that we can get accurate cuts, accurate repeatable cuts, that is. So on our first cut on our board, it's going to be 9 3/4 inches. So why don't we measure out 9 3/4. There we go, mark it off at 9 3/4. Grab our stop block, set it here in place, right on our line. Grab a clamp, clamp it up without moving. Set it 9 3/4. All right, now that we got that in place, we set up an auxiliary board holder, for lack of a better word, so that we can set our boards up here and get ready to make some cuts. First cut here is just to square off the end of the board. Lightly butt it up against our stop. Okay, so we're back at the table saw right now. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the 13 inch pieces into 8 1 1/4 inch pieces. Let's turn on the vac, turn on the saw, and let's get cutting. Next, I hope you can see that, we're going to cut the 13 inch pieces into 4 2 inch pieces. So our next phase is going to be basically putting everything together. We're going to need Title Bond 3 glue because it's going to be an outdoor project. You want waterproof glue. Brad nailer with 1 inch brads. These are 18 gauge galvanized brads, basically to tack things together while the glue sets up. If you're hardcore, you can use a hammer or nail or any other means of fastening, or not use brad nails at all. These are our let me see, our 11-inch boards and our 9 3/4-inch boards. What we're going to do is we're going to assemble them slightly differently. Okay, so I'm just following my direction. We're going to need 2 of these. These are the 1 1/4-inch pieces, and we're going to need our 11-inch boards, 2 of our 11-inch boards. Essentially, what we're doing is we're going to just glue these right on top like this. Straight, of course, like that. And then we're going to tack it in. That's it for these. So let's just do that real quick. We got our jumbo size. Don't overdo it on the glue. Again, the brads, I don't believe add much of any strength to the piece. Alright. Let's get that a little further down. We need up there. We should have aligned that side a little bit better. Okay, so the left-hand side here is square, tied up against the pieces right here. Let's just tap it in. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. Outer align, top align, bottom align. Everything's aligned. Make sure they're squeezed together and just tack them in. Oops. Let's check for a little squeeze out here. On the inside, this is going to be the inside, this is going to be the outside. The outside matters more. Let's just wipe up any squeeze out in the joint. That's essentially what your panel looks like. Inside and out. Let's do that for the second one. Second board, checking for glue, no glue, all looks good. So we've got those 2 pieces complete. Next, we're going to take our 9 1/4-inch board, 9 3/4-inch boards, and we're going to glue them on top of this piece. This is a 2-inch piece. But we want to do that in such a way that when these boards connect, such as this, you will have this little gap here. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take our pencil we're going to draw a line, and everything on this side will get glued, because that's how it's going to fit in. So if you want to see that again, so here's the side, here's a piece, going to glue in an edge like that. So that'll give you 2-inch reveal this way and a 2-inch reveal this way. This is 1 1/4, that's 3/4. So basically there's your 2 inches. But we also want to take this board and glue it on. So it's going to be like this. And same thing for the other side. But let's do one at a time. Actually, hold on. We'll take that. This will be the outside of that piece. Okay. So we'll be glue here for this board, and then we'll stack these like this and like this. Same process, but we're just aligning to our mark. So let's put some glue down. Let's figure out how much we need. Need it to about here. About there. You need some glue, but you don't need excessive amount of glue. Line it up right on the line. It's important, it's not critical. And on this one, we do the same thing. So now we're going to bring this board over. So line it right there on the line. Looks just right. Make sure the tops are, we're good. Okay, checking for squeeze out, no squeeze out. So you got one board done. Again, this is going to be the outside. So let's do the same thing with these. And I got this piece also. Again, no squeeze out. We're in good shape here. So now we have to put everything together. So what we're going to do is ultimately we want all the pieces to fit together like this. So how do we do that? Well, what we're going to do, put some glue in, put this down, and then we're going to shoot in some brads from the outside in. That's it. So let's grab this. Here's our glue line. Stick this piece in here. Stand it up. Might be easier for you if you stand it up. And then shoot a couple nails in. Watch your fingers. Do the same thing with this outer piece. Again, make sure the panels are inset on the inside. We're going to do that right here. So what we're going to do, hit it with a little glue. Stand it up, shoot it in. Again, careful with your fingers. Okay, so we got 3 of them done. Now the last one, since we got it down here, let's just glue it up. Press it up against, and then shoot in some more brads. Might have to stretch it out just a little bit. Everything's flat and flush. Shooting this way. Now I'm putting the nails in from the 2-inch piece. Less chance of splitting that. Okay, there's your box. All set. Said and done right here. So we got it all squared out. Next step is going to be taking these remaining 4 1 1/4 inch pieces and putting them in up top as a trim. Now you can do this 2 ways. You can just cut these tiny bit shorter so they just fit over the top, square, or you can miter them. We're going to miter them. So basically, what you're aiming for is a slight reveal on the inside here. So it's going to be about a 1/4 inch reveal on the inside. We're going to cut right here on the diagonal. Get those pieces right out. We're going to do that at the chop saw. Be right back. So we just finished cutting each of our trim pieces here. They're approximately 12 and 5/8 inches or so. I think that anywhere between 13 and 12 and a quarter you should be good. Arbitrarily, whatever trimmed up, that worked for me. So what I'm going to do here is just kind of set these out to get an idea of what the reveal is going to look like. So just kind of place these on top just to get an idea what the reveal could look like, and just kind of adjusting them a little bit. Just balance them out. So all we're going to say is just balance them out. That looks about right to me. What we're going to do is put a little glue on and then pin them kind of in the corners. Now what I'm going to do is leave these other pieces on while I put on the glue and trim this out, just so I have a reference. Looks about right. All right, let's do the next one. Again, we're just putting glue on the inside edge because I know that's going to be touching wood. Some of the parts in the back are going to be in the air. So miter lines up. Reveal looks about right. Let's just pin that down. All right, there's what the top looks like. Okay, so at Home Depot I bought this little flower container thing, and I got the receipt here. It's about $6. Let's see, yeah, $5.98. It's called a black nursery container. You can fill this with dirt and put your plants inside. It measures about 10 3/8 or so, which is about the width of our hole here. These can go right inside. They can fit at the edges right here on the lips, or if you squeeze it a little bit, we can push it down inside. But some of you who have heavier pots may want to put something in the bottom here, like create a bottom to it. So what we're going to do is some of the extra pieces we had, we're going to glue in the bottom and then put in some scrap woods to create essentially a floor. What we're going to do is we cut down these little scraps to about 9 3/4, maybe just under, and we're going to glue them right in here to create kind of a shelf. And then we're going to get some other scrap boards, put them in there to create the bottom or the floor. So just a little bead of glue, stick it in, and just tack it. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. And tack that in too. Essentially, you've got the bottoms of the shelf. Now let's put in some scraps. Okay, so what we did is we took some of the scrap pieces out there, kind of some of the boards broke. So we've got this cut to just under 9 3/4. We're just sticking it in the bottom. Here's another piece of fencing, sticking that in the bottom. Now these, you don't have to glue or tack in. They're not going to fall through. And they'll give you proper support that you'll need for your plants if they're heavy. There you have it. A $5 outdoor planter, simple and easy. Took me a long time because I was videotaping, but you know, it took you probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. It's only about a dozen or so cuts, some glue, some nails. Very simple, very easy to make. So if you like what you saw today and projects like these, please like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up, letting others know that we've got some good content here that's worthwhile watching. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comments section below. See you at the next episode.